Guys, let me go ahead and turn some flippin' light on in here. Well, it's not too bad, but there we go. So, yesterday I completely binged through the entire first season of Iron Fist. Now, went in with basically everything in my head already about, oh, it's boring, it's terrible, this is Marvel's worst show, all the negativity just completely in my brain. Still went through it, basing my own opinions on it. Now, I will go ahead and for the record say that this pretty much is Marvel's weakest show. However, it's not terrible. It's really not a terrible show. The only thing that I feel brought the show down to the point where I was just hitting my head on the floor that they focused on so much was the corporate espionage. It's so fucking boring. The corporate espionage, ridiculous. However, with that being said, there were some other things, but they didn't ruin the show. Now, I will go on record saying I wasn't the hugest fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it first came out. I thought it was just boring. I didn't know any of the characters. There was no real villain in it, just, bad guy of the week. But yet it got better once specific things started happening with the connection to Winter Soldier, blah, blah, blah. Now, I felt when Daredevil came out, and I'm going to go through the whole list of Netflix shows, mind you. When Daredevil first came out, I loved it. However, the one thing, and I know it was a key element or whatnot, but the one thing that brought it down for me was all the reporter bullshit. It was just so boring to me. I felt that they completely could have cut to the point halfway into the season instead of just stretching it to just completely thin where I'm just like, cut the fucking middle, please. Jessica Jones, great show. Dealt with a lot of emotional stuff and inner demons and whatnot, self-control issues, alcoholism. However, I felt that they just completely kept asking the same question over and over again. Can I beat him? Can I not? What am I worth? It was completely stretched out. Luke Cage, I felt, was, bar none, one of the best of the shows. However, the political stuff really didn't care. But these shows are being made for everyone to like. And that's pretty much the catch of it, is that you have to consider the other audience members as well, because, like it or not, folks, as close as they can get to the source material, or as much as they want to try to bend the rules with the source material, they have to do their other part to make sure that more people are watching it. And that's how they make money. So, with that being said, each one of the defenders leading up to it has had their hurdles. And for me, Iron Fist is just the corporate stuff. And you can tell on the first episode who the worst actor of the show is going to be. And, I mean, I can say that easily because, I'm just I'm just an actor trying to find his way, and I feel maybe I'm a little more hungry. But the guy who plays Ward Meacham, Tom Pelphrey, I think that's what I'm saying, his delivery was terrible. Just terrible. Anytime that he would get on camera, I was just like, oh, Christ, this guy again? His delivery is sometimes very robotic while also trying to be smug as possible. His line reading was like that. And it just really got on my nerves as the show went on, because they spent a lot of time on him. And, the guy's resume is pretty lengthy, so you're like, oh, well, he's been in a lot of stuff, so, what do you know? No, that doesn't mean he's good. Jai Whitney, or whatever that guy's name is from Suicide Squad, Captain Boomerang, that's probably the best role he's did, and he was kind of just not giving a fuck. which is, I don't know. Anytime that guy the Ward character would come on screen, I couldn't. I'm like, please. I begged my friend, please, I will give you money to fast forward through this shit just so we could get back to Iron Fist. And it, I mean, it really just, I mean, it was a great show. I didn't hate it. And if you go on other sites that just weren't completely shitting on it before it came out, like Iron Fist has an 8.5 on IMDb. Like before Rotten Tomatoes and everything else like that, we had that, and then we just based it off the opinion. And honestly, yes, it is the weakest of the shows, but it's not the worst of the shows. Don't listen to what anybody says. Form your own fucking opinion. I would compare it to the first season of Arrow, where they're trying to find this balance and they're trying to develop this character. And my friend put this pretty good too. You take a character who's not really known that much throughout the rest of the world. You can argue with me, whatever, comic book nerds, fuck you. You can stretch it out, but you can only do it so much. And honestly, I think the Netflix shows within like first season should get a minimal window. At the most, 8 episodes. At the least, 6 episodes. To tell this story and to get to the point. And I mean, I really like the character Iron Fist. I was expecting probably the same things that you were. I was expecting fucking Shaw Brothers style kung fu or the Raid style hard hitting shit, but it is what it is. It's a first season show of a character that not a lot of people are familiar with, as they are with Captain America or the Hulk or anything else, and it had a cloud over it the day that the actors were casted. But it doesn't take away from it. And they show respect to it. They even show respect to a fighting style that not a lot of people really know how to cover. And probably have one of the best fight scenes ever, but it's further. So you're going to have to rummage through a lot of the corporate shit. But through the first half of the season, it's not as heavy. They put action in there to balance it out. But yeah, I mean, personally, I recommend it. Not just because it connects it to the Defenders. I mean, the ending is a little left to be desired. They don't really push too much for it to connect to the Defenders. But the Defenders is coming later this year. So I'm excited for it. Mainly because I want to see how everybody else reacts. I want to see Luke Cage and Danny Rand become friends. I want a Heroes for Hire show. That's what I really want. But that's just me. So if you've seen it or if you're in the process of watching it, please leave a comment. If you disagree, leave a comment. Let's conversate about this. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this one. I don't know what I'm going to review next. I want to see the Belko experiment. I want to see Kong. There's a lot of things I still need to see, but I just felt the need to tell you this because I binged the whole fucking thing yesterday. I enjoyed it. Underwhelmed compared to the other shows once it was finished, mainly because the ending wasn't too impactful. It was more of a cliffhanger for the next season, not so much connecting to the next show. So, as the other ones did. But that's fine. So, Iron Fist. Watch it. Form your own opinion. Fuck what everybody else says. Negativity is contagious. So, let's spread some fucking positivity. Because that's just as contagious. So, see you later. Blah.